race fans. Welcome to the Core Racing Network. Happy Halloween to you, as we've got a treat here tonight, and it is going to be round 4 of the GT series here for Core, and we're at the beautiful Sebring International Raceway. And you see, it's Halloween night. We're going to make these drivers run at night, and we got the lights on as much as possible, but you see, now this track is lit. This place is host to the very famous Sebring 12-hour, and it's a fun little circuit to get around. I'm sure a lot of these drivers have plenty of experience running in the 12-hour event here at Sebring, or have had some laps here in one fashion or another. The GT series here for Core has come to Sebring quite a few times, but tonight it is going to be host for round number 4. And if it's anything like the first 3 races, it should be a good one. It could be possibly 4 wins in a row for Dominique Ford. It's really who has what it takes to take down the number 91 this season. He's already got a 46-point lead in the overall standings, in the gold division standings, over Nick Terrell, 47 over his teammate Mason Smith, and then in the silver division, Braden Carlson leads by 5 points over John Nominger, 13 over Justin Kirby. In the bronze, it is CJ Conklin by 1 point over Joshua Betts and 11 over Eric Martin. But that 91 has got 3 wins already on the season. Not at the top of the boards just yet, though. He has got his teammate and David Tilford currently in the top spots here in qualifying, as that's what these drivers are out there completing right now, their 1 hour of qualifying practice. And we'll get this thing underway for the 1 hour race. Thank you for everyone that is tuning in here tonight, and I know it's a special night, especially for the kiddos. I know my legs, my feet are barking from all the trick or treating that the kids did here tonight, but it's going to pay off with a nice, relaxing race, at least for me. Get to sit up here in the booth and join you out there watching these drivers go for an hour here at Sebring. This place has a unique history, as a lot of tracks do, but this one was originally a U.S. Army air base back in the World War II days, before it was reconstructed to be a temporary circuit, and then eventually a full-fledged circuit when the air base was obviously no longer needed. And it plays host to, obviously, the Sebring 12-hour that is the big event, but they also added in the 1000K race or the World Endurance Championship the day before as well. So it really becomes a just absolute heck of a weekend if you're a sports car enthusiast, and it is kind of a mecca type of sports car race here down in Florida. These drivers are just finishing up their qualifying, just waiting for the everybody to take that checkered flag out here, and we'll get this thing underway. But we'll take a look at the track map here, and get up here. There we go. And you see, it's definitely a unique shape. It's not one that it's not a cookie cutter by any means. You certainly got the long straightaways there, which were the runways, but once you get through turn 1, it's definitely different. And really, you got the bottom hairpin there on the bottom, which is known as sunset, and reason being is during the 12 hours of Sebring, when the sun sets, you're going directly at it, heading into that hairpin, and it can be blinding if you have all the settings cranked up on iRacing, for sure. But it's that other hairpin that you see kind of right above it, which is I think it's about like turn 5 or so, and it doesn't look like much, but it's heavy braking after a long run around the gurney. Right-hand turn, and then a little bit of a straightaway. You're hard on braking, and then it's just really tight through there, and it's a good passing opportunity if you can get there, but you almost kind of have to force that other driver to kind of back down. There's certainly places here to pass, but you got to be advantageous. You got to have those good runs like usual. It's not one that's just going to be given to you. It's going to be one that has to be taken sometimes, and it's going to be even more fun here at night. I mean, it's nice clear skies. Don't have to worry about any rain here tonight, but drivers may have to worry about a little visibility. I'm sure the first couple laps, as you see him coming onto the track, it's going to be nice and lit, especially for the guys, mid-pack or even back-pack. They'll have all the cars in front of them lighting up the track, and they'll be able to see wherever they need to go. But once this thing spreads out, it's going to be fun just watching the lights in the cars kind of go all over the place throughout the track. But let's take a look at the rundown, the breakdown here of the qualifying results. And it's going to be as follows. In the gold division, top of the boards is going to be Mason Smith with a 2-minute flat point, 1:83, 17 hundredths of a second behind. Only is David Tilford in second. Dominique Ford, your points leader, in third. Nick Terrell in fourth. Jack Peterson rounding out the top 5. Then for the rest of the gold division field, it is Jack Peterson. I'm sorry, Michael Brook. My place here. There we go. Michael Brook, Ricky Renner, James Pierce, and Kevin Peake for the gold division. In the silver, top of the boards is going to be John Nobinger, Justin Kirby, Abiy Vishwavasan, Morgan Smith, and Braden Carlson, your top 5. Nathan Nickerson and Alan Gullison are going to be your 7-car silver field. In the bronze division, it is going to be Tim Thompson on top by, again, a slim margin, 14 hundredths of a second over Fozzie Fazillo. CJ Conklin, Alex Jaspers, Eric Martin, Joshua Betts, and Terry Jansen out there. 7 cars for the bronze. In the rookie division, we got Mark Reynolds on top of the boards, Herbert Pineda, Brandon Domingue, Ellie Brandel, Jesse Francisco, Jake Jackson, Kevin Davis, and Jaden Porter. And I have a strange feeling that unless Mark Reynolds has a bad race here and in the next race, he's probably going to be lining up right there with those gold division drivers, as he actually qualified 4th place overall here tonight. So certainly a lot of speed in that 085, but we are all gridded up and we are ready to go. We're going to take it on down there behind the Porsche pace car, the Porsche-esque, I guess, pace car here for iRacing. And you see those Ferraris right there sporting some yellowish lights. If you're looking for the Ferraris, you're going to see that those yellow lights on the front of it. Everybody else with the white lights on it. And there's some cars that are known to have better lights in sight. Not sure what just happened right there to Michael Brook, but he goes off track. Not sure if that was. I mean, that looked like it might have been a hardware issue or something like that. Trying to see if we can get any word as to what was going on there. It wasn't Michael. See if we can pinpoint what exactly happened here. Now, it was indeed the 421. It's just really confusing on what actually happened right there. But it looks like he's fine. Some blinking out there, so certainly has got some issues here tonight. But it looks like he got it back going. I think he rejoined the field. So we got some more just drivers catching up to the back of the field here. And I mean, it's even hectic and crazy here on the pace laps. And it looks like Michael is going to go ahead and jump in the pits. Certainly some issues here tonight for the 421. But either way, we're going to get this thing going here and going through the final corners here before we head on to the backstretch. Looks like Eric Martin also jumping in the pits. So strange happenings here in the beginning of this race, but it's not over yet for any of them. Obviously, they'll be in the pits there. They can start in the pits if they're able to get back in and everything is on and corrected for them for sure. But something was definitely going on for the 421 here to start this race. see with that at 91 as in store. Again, Dominique Ford, 3 wins on the season out of the first 3 races. He's got 2 other cars in front of him to start this thing. Mason Smith, Dave Tilford on that front row. And we've got just about every manufacturer out there. We got a Ferrari, Lamborghini, Porsche, Mercedes, Audi, and McLaren making up that top 6 right now. And we're about to get this thing set and underway. The pace car is off. You see Barney right there waiting to wave that green. And we are racing at Sebring. Off into turn number 1. It looks like it is going to be Mason Smith holding on to that lead. Dominique Ford getting a good jump. We got some issues at the back of the pack. There looks like Jack Peterson involved. Jake Jackson also. Take a look back here in a second. Side-by-side battle for second place. Dominique Ford is going to get that pass done on Dave Tilford. Does Tilford have anything to try and have a rebuttal down here in the hairpin? As Ford now sets his sights up to the 6 of Mason Smith. Take a look back here real quick and see what happened here. As you see, it's just kind of hot mass chaos going down into turn 1. You see cars all over the place. And they all kind of funnel in and typically go to too wide, but you see a little bump there, maybe with the 99. And then it just shoves him off into the 53 of Ricky Renner, who just cannot catch a break. I mean, it's unbelievable. Yeah, it looks like the 122 there of Jack Peterson is the one that got spun out of the mix there, and Ricky Renner gets caught up in the mix. Once again, it just seems like a weekly thing that one thing or another happens to the 53 right in the beginning of these races. Out front for the first time all season, we've got a new leader. Can he complete the lap? Can he get across the line and have a new leader here on pace? He will indeed. The 6 of Mason Smith out front. He's got his teammate right behind him as well. And again, these drivers do have a team championship that they're fighting with everybody else. And I don't think anybody wants to see this 6 starting to come into form. He's seen kind of flashes of it last week. He's kind of been on an downward spiral for quite some time, but he's seen some flashes last week. Mason Smith getting some speed back. And clearly, he's got some speed here at Sebring tonight. And he's got his teammate now right behind him, but I mean, teammate or not, Dominique Ford is going to be looking for that lead at one point or another. Another issue here, this is Justin Kirby coming into Sunset, and car just stepping right out on him, holds the brakes, does a good job there. It's not where you want to be parked. He will get it back going. Damage. Issue here as 99 Grenada going a little bit off track. Then I think Jake Jackson here happened right behind him as well. Same thing, just a little bit wide out of turn number 1 right there. It's off the road as Mason Smith trying to stretch it out here a little bit. A look back a little further in the field. Bozzy Vizzello and Terry Jansen back here in the bronze class. It's been nice we had the classes up there for me, so you can see who's actually leading. And there's Mason Smith over pin 8 and John Nobinger and Tim Thompson leading the respective classes here. This is the battle for 3rd place in the bronze. Terry Jansen has it in a very appropriate paint scheme here tonight. We'll try and see if we can get a good look at it. We may get a good look at it now. Unfortunately, Terry getting involved in an incident right there. And with these lights on, you can't see it too much, but he's got a Freddy Krueger paint scheme on tonight for Halloween. But we'll take a look back and see again what happened on this incident. Terry Jansen just getting a little loose on the inside. Vizzello having no go, gets into the back of the 78. Kevin Davis up here, trying to fend off Jack Peterson here. Kevin Davis currently in the rookie division, still trying to get his 5 races in. Jack Peterson is a pole driver already, whether he wants to be or not. This is currently back there in 21st and 22nd overall. He's moving up front here. This is Herbert Pineda in 4th place overall, leading the rookie division. Nick Terrell right behind him, and then Mark Reynolds behind him, 4th, 5th, and 6th overall in the field. Well, all in all, so far so good. Not really too many big incidents here on the first lap. I mean, we got 30 plus cars out here taking the green flag. Looks like 31. Well, I guess technically 30 with Brock having the issues at the start of this thing. With the mics there. Okay, now back in talking with you guys as we got a nice little string of silver drivers right here. This is 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, all in the silver division. Nathan Nickerson leading the way here from 2nd place. Morgan Smith, Viva Shabazza, and Braden Carlson, all right in a row here. B looking to kind of get a hometown discount for sure. The Florida native looking to have a good run here tonight at Sebring. This is his home track, and certainly one that he looks to have a good finish week in and week out whenever we come here to Sebring. Although Hockenheim is deep down his love. Playing simply has a lot of experience and a lot of good memories and a lot of good finishes at Hockenheim. But out of the schedule this year, so he gets to run here at the hometown at Sebring. Looks like an issue for Mark Reynolds, following very closely, gets a bit of a spin and then gets a bit of a punt there from John Nominger. And Nominger has got a bunch of damage as that front end just hanging on by a thread on the front of that Mercedes. And he is leading. Looks like it did eventually fall off, but he is your leader in the silver division. He's going to have to get that thing fixed up. I mean, it seems like he's a little bit off pace from the start. I'm sure that's certainly not helping with his downforce or speed on these straightaways. He's got Brandon Domingue right behind him. Through sunset right now to complete another lap. Indeed, it may have been a little drinking and driving to start this thing. It is a holiday. It is one that some people certainly get amped up for. And one of my co-broadcasters would be out there racing right now. Had it not being Halloween, it was his favorite holiday of the year, and that is Jimmy Covert. So shout out to him, and I know he'd love to be out here at Sebring. It's one of his favorite tracks as well, but he loves him some Halloween and giving out candy to the kiddos. He's certainly had enough of in his household at one time or another. But good race here so far, and I mean, one or two mistakes is not surprising here at Sebring, especially at nighttime here. But all in all, a good start for these drivers here in the Core GT series, as we're coming up on 10 minutes in, and we're gonna have 50 minutes to go. was out to about 0.6 of a second at one point for Mason Smith, but Dominic Ford finding his legs here, and he is catching up to Mason Smith. It is a two-car breakaway at the front. It's another 2.4 seconds back to David Topher. They're in 30 seat right there coming up down the backstretch here. These two are breaking away from the field. Will they play nice? They are teammates, but one way or another, I'm sure Dominic Ford is going to want to get to that lead. How hard will Mason Smith want it, especially this early in the race? Ford all over the backside of that Ferrari. But he gets a good run out of turn number 1. He's going to hold it in line. Right now, just continue to light the way here for Mason Smith. Goes back here on the track. This is Jesse Francisco. 17th overall. He's got Justin Kirby right behind him. It's Tim Thompson straight in front of him that he is looking to try and get around right now. Tim Thompson, 16th overall, but leading in the bronze division right now. And a good job here early on. It's a 7 brief flip to the inside. Nothing doing just yet. Trying to make his way back up through the field after the early lap 1 mishap, and send him back, and he's got around Ellie Randall. He is 12th place overall, 7th in the gold division. He's one of those drivers that he may not quite have the speed at every track to fight up there for the podium, but you feel like you never get a chance to see his speed because he's always involved in one issue or another. Usually kind of getting caught up in other people's messes, but he sometimes has the messes of his own. But again, here tonight, lap 1 incident, nothing that he can do, just kind of caught out there in the mess as we look back behind him. And that is Vishu Vassam in the Corvette getting around Porsche of Ali Brandel for 13th place overall. Going to be out there in 4th place in the silver division. Fighting back a little bit, Bucky's Porsche, but Vishwas going to hold on to that spot. And up at the front, Mason Smith no longer held on to that spot. Here comes the pass down the backstretch as Dominic Ford goes to the inside, heading off into Sunset, and 91 has taken the lead here at Sebring. Mason Smith tried to do a bit of a crossover there, but just not enough. 91 on Ford out in front. Issue here for Francisco. We're just watching him, and oh man, the car just steps out on him hard and got enough damage there to try to get back going, but end up having to tow back to the pits as that car was a little bit too damaged. Here trying to hold off Nathan Nickerson, who's 2nd place overall, and trying to get around Brandon, and he will have the opportunity now as Dominguez slides sideways. He is straight across the track in a horrible spot right there. A good job getting off the track and getting that thing back going. Just kind of stepped right out on him through the S's there. And that's going to give Nathan Nickerson now a clear view of the back bumper of John Nobinger. And we'll see how much that damage is hurting that Mercedes from the 44 if Nathan Nickerson can reel him in for the lead. front. This is 4th place, Nick Terrell, and 5th place, James Pierce. Back-to-back here, the mystery machine. He's been running that all season, but it's pretty good paint scheme here, given the night here for Halloween. So Josh Betts had a bit of an issue here. This is also heading into Sunset. 341, just stepping out a little bit. You see it's not exactly level. It's not smooth going through Sunset there. It is bumpy, and you're not ready for it. He's going to catch you off guard and spin that back end out. Up front, Mason Smith doing everything that he can to keep up with Dominique Ford as they catch up to some lap traffic here. This is Tony Jansen that they were going around. Dominique Ford gets by, heading off into Sunset. Looks like Terry's going to stay wide. That's a nice veteran move there by Terry, letting these top guys battle it out here. As Ford now enjoying a 7/10 of a second lead. And let's go ahead and hop on board with the 91 and take you on a lap around Sebring. Short lap around the Sebring International Raceway, and you see how bumpy it is through Sunset there. It is not exactly easy pickings going through there, but 74 are making that lap look nice and easy as Mason Smith has cruised in just a little bit on him and is down to about a half a second. We got some pit stops already happening. Morgan Smith, Aviva Shabassim, Ricky Renner are all coming into the pits here as we are getting close to about a third of the way through this race, but this is short of through. We're only 18 and a half minutes into this thing, and we got a few pit stops already starting. Back a little bit further, James Pierce still working on Nick Terrell. Now it looks like James Pierce is going to get along past Nick Terrell here. This is for 5th place overall and 4th place in the World Division as Herb Pineda doing a good job. He is right in front of this crew. He is sitting in 4th overall right now, and you see, compared to all the other rookie drivers out there, he's got 18 seconds up on everybody else. Unfortunately for Mark Reynolds, it looks like tonight will be one of those races where it's hurt him. He had that issue, and it looks like he's going to park it for the night. Looks like another issue here from Ricky Renner. We'll see what happened. This one is self-inflicted, gets a little bit loose, and unfortunately, through the dirt there, the car just keeps sliding and goes right out back on the track. Eric Martin, no place to go, gets to the side of him. Ricky Renner towing it back into pit lane, and man, the hitches keep on coming. Field spread out. Little battles here mixed throughout as we got Justin Kirby right behind Braden Carlson. This is for third and fourth in the silver division. And we got some more pit stops coming in at this time. Kevin Peake, Nathan Nickerson, Ellie Brandel, Braden Carlson, Jack Peterson, CJ Conklin. Looks like pretty much 9th place on back is deciding to come into the pits on this lap. Still out there, still leading in the silver division is John Nobinger. So that damage maybe not as bad as it looks. I mean, no front end on this Mercedes, but still driving okay. Up front, the lead for Dominic Ford has grown to 1.8 seconds now. You can see it's a decent gap between him and Mason Smith, so whatever he didn't have in qualifying, he's found it here in the race trim, and it's now out to about 2-second lead as he looks to go 4 for 4 to start the season. Unfortunately, also end up jumping into pit lane. Must be some extra damage from that crash with Ricky Renner. Battle here as Kevin Peake just getting past Jake Jackson for 9th place overall. Leaders now starting to come in. Ford, Smith, Topher, Pineda, Pierce, all coming in this time by. Looks like Nick Terrell going to stick out there for another lap. Certainly going to be a 2 pit stop race for the boys and girls here in the Core GT series. Looks like Terrell trying to stretch this thing out just a little bit further. Everyone else has made at least 1 pit stop so far. Jake Jackson hit on lap number 1, involved in the early incident, and it seems to be paying off here as he's made his way back up through the field. But how far can he stretch it? Can he get it to the point where he can only make 1 more pit stop? I don't think so, as it's pretty early, and there's you see already coming into the pits. I don't think there's any way he's not going to be on a 2 pit stop strategy like everyone else. But the only one that has yet to come into the pits here tonight is the 081 Nick Terrell, Mr. Machine, still out there and is currently your overall leader. That has paid off very nicely is the short pit in the silver division. John Nobinger was your leader in the silver division. He is no more. Nathan Nickerson and Morgan Smith both pitting earlier than Nobinger, and they are now 1st and 2nd. You see him right there on your screen. John Nobinger has been slotted back to 3rd. He's got that front end fixed once again, and this is 1st, 2nd, and 3rd here on the screen in the silver division. Not too far behind, you see him right there coming to your picture. That is Justin Kirby. So the top 4, not separated by too much, as Nick Terrell is now going to bring Mr. Machine into pit lane. That should give the lead back to Dominic Ford, who's enjoying a 2.5-second lead now over Mason Smith, who will most likely be sliding back into 2nd place. James Pierce is able to get Nick Terrell as well, as these guys were doing battle on the track. And right there you see Nick Terrell still getting out in front of James Pierce, so it's going to be Ford, Smith, Tilford, Terrell, and Pierce for your top 5 in the gold division. Over in the silver, it is still Nathan Nickerson just holding on as John Nomier goes for a trip through the dirt after turn number 1 there. But still hangs on to it. Certainly going to kill his clean race if he had one at that point, which he didn't because he got an earlier incident. But Nathan Nickerson, Morgan Smith, John Nomier, Justin Kirby, and Braden Carlson are the top 5 for the silver division. In the bronze, it is still Tim Thompson leading the way over CJ Conklin, Alex Jaspers, Eric Martin, and Terry Jansen for your top 5. And then in the rookie division, Herbert Pineda had some kind of issue on pit lane. Not sure if it was a pit road penalty or what, but he was on pit lane for well over a minute, and that takes him way down in the pecking order. So it is now Ellie Randall that is leading in the rookie division over Brandon Domingue, Herbert Pineda, Jake Jackson, and Kevin Davis. Once again, thank everyone out there for tuning in on Halloween night here to see these boys in the Ford GT series get at it here at the Sebring International Raceway, and it's been a pretty good one out here tonight. We've definitely had some passes. It's not just follow the leader here at all. And it's beautiful to see these cars under the lights here, and it's just, it's a different atmosphere. I mean, I always like night racing when it comes to ovals, but night racing on road courses is definitely a different monster. I mean, you've seen riding along with Dominic Ford when we ran around there for a lap. It's really important for tracks to, well, not for tracks to have it, but as a driver, it's important to have markers out there when it comes to corners, so you know where your braking points are going to be, where your turning points are going to be. It's what you use during the day. So if a track doesn't have them during the day, it's that much tougher at night. Luckily for Sebring here, you notice coming into these corners, you have the cones. You have three cones, 2 cones, 1 cone, which is kind of their 150, 150 boards heading into to these corners. And it absolutely helps. It helps during the day. It helps really, especially at nighttime, picking out where your braking points are going to be and where you need to turn into these corners, because it can be really, really tough. But Sebring does a good job here. I mean, they've run the Sebring 12-hour for quite some time now, so they know how to treat the sports cars out there, and doing a good job for sure. We're closing in on the halfway mark here tonight already. 28.5 minutes are down. And it is Dominic Ford, Ellie Randall, Nathan Nickerson, and Tim Thompson leading their respective divisions. Has caught the back of Morgan Smith. Again, this is 1, 2, and 3 on your screen. 4th place, Justin Kirby not too far behind. Getting word as to what happened with Herbert Pineda and why he's been back so far, and we see the aftermath of it right there. We'll take a look at what happened here coming into pit lane, as Herbert Pineda staying to the right to enter pit lane, and maybe just a little bit slower than James Pierce expected him to be. Or maybe checking up at a little bit too early on the cones there. And Pierce tries to go around. And unfortunately tags the wall and then tags Pineda. And wrecks him enough that he had to tow to pit lane. So that would explain why the 99 is back a little bit further here in the field. Back over to the action here in the silver division. And Morgan Smith is no longer in second. You see it right here, battling with Nobinger. Nobinger gets into the side. And not only does Nobinger get by, Justin Kirby gets by as well. So new top three here in the silver class. And still Nathan Nickerson at the front of this thing. John Nobinger in second. With Justin Kirby taking advantage right there. He's going to move himself into third. Morgan Smith into fourth, but looks like Justin Kirby has got his sights set on second place. Down into Sunset. He's going to look to the inside here of Nobinger. Nobinger gives him a wide berth there. Gives him plenty of room on that inside. It's going to be a drag race down the front stretch. Looks like Nobinger has the advantage. He's going to go ahead and slide back into second place. This is allowing Nathan Nickerson to check out here a bit in the 280. And Nobinger goes wide again. And that's going to give an opportunity up the inside. Justin Kirby sends it in there. Thank you very much. I'll take second place. A little bit of wiggle coming out there, but 51 not going to move himself into second. A great pass there. And then Morgan Smith looks like some more activity there. We'll take a look at that one more time. And gets into the back of the 44. Maybe a little shot there to, maybe not necessarily payback, but certainly it was not a happy Morgan Smith right there. And he's going to spin out and now drop down to 5th place in the silver class. Up front, still leading the way. No surprise here, the 91 of Dominique Ford out there to about a 2 1/4 second lead as Mason Smith is kind of evened it out here a little bit and calmed it down a little bit and is not letting Dominique Ford stretch out anymore. But does he have anything to reel him back in before this thing is over? David Tolford in third, Nick Terrell, James Beers for top 5. In the silver class, it is Nathan Nickerson, Justin Kirby, John Nobinger, Braden Carlson, and me, Vishvasan. For your bronze division, Tim Thompson, CJ Conklin, Eric Martin, Alex Jaspers, and Terry Jansen. And then in the rookie class, it is Ellie Randall, Brandon Domingue, Pineda, and Jake Jackson, and Kevin Davis rounding out the top 5. John Nobinger having to come into the pit lane. And I'm not sure if this is going to be just an early second pit stop to knock this thing out and won't need another pit stop after this, or this is to serve a penalty. Take a look here. And looks like Nobinger's going to come out. A pretty quick pit stop right there. He gets back out. In 7th place now in the silver class. Vishvasan, we see him just coming back on the track. We see him off track as you see the back end stepping out on him. And had to wait there for quite a bit until he could get back on the track. Whatever the issues were early on in the race, Michael Brock is back out there, and he is currently running at 22nd overall, trying to make the pass here on Eric Martin. He's going to do so on the inside of turn 1. So move up to 21st now. It's still 8th place in the gold division. But at least at least that car is pointing in the right direction, and maybe he's put the beverage down, more drinking and driving, and he's going to be out there and trying to hold down as many positions as possible. The halfway point right now, as we are currently on minute number 36, so I think it's about time that we go ahead and crank these drivers up here in the Core GT series and give everyone in Sierra Nation a little love to hear. sights and sounds of the Core GT series as they rip around Sebring. And this is the lead right here, and it is certainly closed in. It is down to under a second as they will come in and make their second pit stop. Certainly well underway is the second and final round of pit stops as we are now down to the last quarter hour of this race. Less than 15 minutes to go now. As Dominic Ford going to come in, as will Mason Smith right behind him. Nick Terrell going to stay out there as he's going to lock in a heated battle there with James Pierce right behind. Now finally stretching out his lead just a little bit on that Ferrari. Justin Kirby is currently your leader in the silver division, but that's because he's the only one in the silver division that has yet to come into the pits. But he was starting to run down Nathan Nickerson a little bit as well since he moved into second place. Tim Thompson still having a nice little stranglehold on the bronze division lead. 16.25 seconds right now is the lead for Tim Thompson, so having a really good race. Looks like James Pierce having a bit of an incident here. To the hairpin, and that thing did not want to break at all. And he ended up jumping into the pits from there. So giving him a top spot is James Pierce coming back into the pits. Pitch back live, and it's still Nick Terrell out front. Looks like Dominic Ford maybe allowed that lead close up a little bit to allow for a shorter pit stop because he came back out with about a 1.5 second quicker pit stop, and that's given him a 2.6 second lead here on the track. Dave Tilford has been out there running in the top 3 pretty much all night, and he is still there right now, right behind your silver division leader, Justin Kirby. But this is not a battle for position. Kirby still needs to come into the pits. Once he does, and once Nick Terrell does, he'll shuffle the 12 back up to podium spots once again, and a good race here for the 12 for sure. So Terrell going to stay out there and go around yet another lap here. So we'll see if this 081 has any kind of different strategy here on this last pit stop. He was able to go long on the first one. Long on this second one here as well. Not going to be able to make it all the way to the end. It would certainly be a potential race winning strategy for sure. But still out there, still getting some laps led as we are now crossing into the 48th minute here tonight. Justin Kirby into the pits. Keep an eye on Nathan Nickerson and see if he's able to get the lead back. Justin Kirby coming out of the pits. And he will take over the lead as he had about a 3-second quicker pit stop than Nathan Nickerson. I don't know if it was just a lot less fuel that 51 took or what the case was. But he has got a nice sizable lead now. Currently sitting 2.8 seconds out in front is the 51 of Justin Kirby. Here for Bishop Bassett. This is coming through Sunset. On the exit, Sunset, hard impact for the 08. He's going to bring it directly into the pits. Hopefully he doesn't get a penalty on top of that. But we'll see. Bishop Bassett will come in. He came in, looks like he took some fuel and a fast repair for that Corvette and is now heading back out on the track. Nick Terrell finally coming into the pits here as well. Car is going to go up on the jack, so he's going to take some tires, as you see right there on the side. That is Dominic Ford going by, Mason Smith going by, David Tilford also going by. we should see Terrell come out here in 4th position. And indeed he will. Kevin Peak just going through sunset right now. He is 5th place now in the gold division. We're in the silver. Justin Kirby, your leader. Nathan Nickerson in 2nd. Braden Carlson, John Nominger, and Alan Gullison in the top 5. Down in the bronze, it's gotten a little bit closer, but still a nice, comfortable 11.5-second lead for Tim Thompson over C.J. Conklin, Eric Martin, Terry Jansen, and Alex Jaspers. And in your rookie class, Ellie Brando leads, but Brandon Domingue is not too far behind. Yes, slowly reeled in Ellie Randall here. It's still, again, got good margin here, 7.5 seconds back to Brandon Domingue, but come back just a little bit. Herman Grenada in 3rd, kind of making his own little comeback as well. Jake Jackson and Kevin Davis from the top 5 in the rookie class. They've all been chasing this 91, who was out to a 3.5-second lead out front. Mason Smith, though, has got some company. David Tilford is not out of the top 2 just yet. He's trying to play spoiler to the 2 teammates out front right now, and would love to get in between them and grab himself a 2nd place overall. 8 minutes now left in the race, so just a few laps left. Probably looking at maybe 3 laps to go here. Can the 12 of Tilford catch up? And then can he make the pass here on Mason Smith for 2nd place overall? This is the closest battle on the track by a pretty good margin. Pineda closing in on John Nominger here. But this is not a battle for position. This is a battle for 12th and 13th overall here in the race. So we'll keep our eyes right now looking at Mason Smith trying to hold off 2nd place, but he's also going up to Dominic Ford. So I'm not sure if Ford is playing some mind games here, if he's trying to close this field back in, have a little fun, or maybe give his teammate a little help here. Play a little team game to keep that 12 behind him. Tilford does have the fastest lap of the race here tonight. That is a 2-minute, 0.38-second lap. Top 2 guys, Ford and Smith, have a 0.57 and a 0.71. And then Nick Terrell in 4th place has a 0.91. So top drivers here in the race, none of them have gone sub 2 minutes, but they've all had a 2-minute flat lap here tonight. To get into that 2nd range. It is still Dominic Ford out front, Mason Smith, David Tilford, as we click off another lap and get ever so close to the end of this thing. Now 6 minutes left in the race. Intended help or not, the draft I think is helping Mason Smith keep that 12 behind him, and it's been kind of held steady now at about 0.7 seconds between Smith and Tilford for these last couple of laps. I think if Ford doesn't watch out, he may end up backing Smith right back into him if he doesn't keep that pace up out front. did take about a second and a half less in pit lane, so less fuel out there for the 91. And maybe he's trying to make sure that this thing doesn't go that extra lap, because we're kind of like teetering right on that edge of how many laps are left in this race. Don't think we will see the white flag this time by. Well, yeah, we won't see the white flag this time by, but I don't even think this is going to be 2 laps, so it's going to be mighty close here as we head down the backstretch towards sunset one more time. Times right there by your top 3 in the last how many laps. And that many Ford. Been that 2-minute flat lap on lap number 24, but since then he's been in the 2:02s. And now finally running back into the 2:01.2 there that last lap. But still gains by both Smith and Tilford to close in this gap at the front. At least make it a little entertaining here to finish this thing off. Back in the battle for 12th and 13th overall. John Nobinger still holding off for Pineda. Pineda is definitely reeling in that 44 and maybe looking for a move right now. Now heading down towards sunset again. This is not a battle for position, but it is for overall 12th place. Is Pineda going to send it to the inside? Mercedes on Mercedes right here, and Pineda is going to make the pass. Nobinger goes for the crossover, almost contact there, and it's going to be a drag race down the front stretch. Pineda is going to have the inside line for turn 1. That may be all he needs to complete this pass. We've seen Nobinger run wide a couple times on that outside. Can he hold it on the track? Good battle here, and still side by side. Nobinger still fighting off Pineda. Pineda's going to have the inside line to get close again. Maybe a little contact. Pineda's going to have the inside line again, and still not giving up. And there is a bump and a spin. And both cars going off the track here. Looks like neither of them will lose any other positions. It's still going to be 12th and 13th overall. But Nobinger waiting for Pineda to get back going. Meanwhile, up front, coming by the line, and I don't think we get the white flag just yet. It is now 58 minutes left in the race. Trying to take a look at somebody that is coming by the front stretch here, and we'll hop on board here with Justin Kirby, see if we can get a look at Barney if he's not sleeping up there in the flag stand. It is a bit late here tonight, but I do not see that white flag waving, so should be 2 laps to go here at the front. It is Dominic Ford by 0.8 of a second over Mason Smith, who's got 0.8 of a second over David Tilford for the top 3 positions. Top 5 spots held by Gold Division members. And then 6th and 7th are Justin Kirby, Nathan Nickerson in the silver. Before you have Jack Peterson in 6th place in the gold. Brady Carlson in 3rd place in the silver. He is running 9th place overall. Standings right there. See, it's dominated by Gold at the top, as it should be. By the line this time. Now you see Barney is wide awake here and throwing that white flag, and you see by just seconds is now when we cross over to 1 hour, so they will get this extra lap. Were these guys at the front banking on this extra lap is the question. Not sure if David Tilford had a bit of an issue. He's fallen back just a little bit more off the pace here of these top two, but it is still Dominique Ford and Mason Smith and David Tilford for your top three. Nick Terrell, Kevin Peake, your top five in the gold. Kirby, Nickerson, Carlson, Dobinger, and Gomison, your top five for the silver. And in the bronze, it is Thompson, Conklin, Martin, Jansen, and Jaspers. And finally, in the rookie division, Randall, Domingue, River Pineda, Jackson, and Davis. It's a close battle on the track, but I don't know how much of a battle it actually is. I didn't think it was either Dominique just maybe trying to save a little fuel, maybe just playing some mind games, maybe trying to play the team game and number on Mason Smith, but he has once again been the class of the field and just has about a half a lap left here tonight to go on and playing 4 for 4 here to start the season with 4 races, maybe 4 wins for the 91. Just got to make it through one more corner, and it is a big one. It is Sunset that he's got to make it through. But he is stretching out his lead once again, letting that Mercedes eat all the way down at this backstretch. One final time through bumpy Sunset. And he eyes that checker flag one more time, and Dominique Ford is your winner here tonight at Sebring. Mason Smith going to come home at close second place. David Tilford put up a fight. He's going to come home in third. Over at our silver class, Justin Kirby, a nice gap to Nathan Nickerson as he stretched it out on this final stint, 6-second lead. And good to see that 51 having a good run. He certainly deserves it. He's got caught in a few more mix-ups here to start this season. And I mean, even over in UCRL, he got caught up in some issues earlier this week, and it's good to see that 51 getting some success here once again. Your winner here in the silver class, silver division. And Tim Thompson has been the dominant man here tonight in the bronze. He's got a 15-second lead over his next closest competitor, who was not here last week. He is making up for some lost time here tonight. Randall, meanwhile, comes by and will be the top finisher in the rookie division. And do we have a situation here? Is Tim Thompson out of fuel? That sounds like that might be the case. Did Tim Thompson just throw away a finish here? Is he going to get any help from anybody? CJ Conklin is going to go on by. Man, just when you thought this thing was over, looks like Tim Thompson is getting some help from a fellow competitor. But how far is he going to drop in the order? CJ Conklin is now going to be your winner here tonight, as we got an entire train here helping the 05 get back to the line. Looks like he is going to come home and finish in second. If he can get back to the line is the question. He is the only other one. Yeah, he's the only other one there. I believe he would still be credited with second, but oh man, what a finish. And CJ Conklin is going to be your winner here in the bronze. What a finish. We'll go ahead and get these drivers queued up for their interviews, but that was certainly an unexpected finish. And man, you got a feel for the 05 team, as he had one heck of a race all night long, and once again it was close to that mark of going one extra lap, and I think they just underfueled him by just that little bit, and it was enough that he was literally about a mile at most from the finish line when that thing sputtered to an end. For our drivers to step out of their cars and head on over to the waiting room before we get in some interviews. But in the meantime, we'll take a look at our final results here tonight and start with the gold division. It is going to be Dominic Ford, Mason Smith, Dave Tilford, Nick Terrell, Kevin Peake for the top 5, Jack Peterson, Michael Brock, James Pierce, and Ricky Renner for the 9 gold division drivers. In the silver, Justin Kirby takes the win over Nathan Nickerson, Braden Carlson, John Nobinger, Alan Gullison, Abiy Vishwasam, and Morgan Smith. In the bronze, it's going to be CJ Conklin. It is going to be Tim Thompson finishing in second place. Unfortunate there for him. Eric Martin, Terry Jansen, Alex Jaspers, Josh Betts, and Fazio Fazzello for the 7 bronze division members. And then in the rookie class, it is Ellie Brandel, Brandon Domingue, Herbert Pineda, Jake Jackson, Kevin Davis, Jaden Porter, Jesse Francisco, and Mark Reynolds. So we got a few of our drivers. We'll go ahead and start picking off these guys kind of one by one, and we'll start with our rookie division winner here tonight, and it's going to be the 024 of Ellie Brandon. And Ellie, it's always fun, at least watching these night races, but I mean, tell me what kind of pitfalls and what kind of things you have to deal with when it comes to driving these night races.
Well, I think track temp is definitely something you got to watch out for, and this is my best core finish so far, and I'm just really stoked to be here, and this has been great racing so far. But yeah, I was watching out for the first lap spins and everything. I mean, that's pretty much every race, right? But yeah, it was great. It was a great time.
I mean, not only do you finish top of the rookie division here, but 10th place overall, and it's a pretty good field here in the Core GT series. So do you feel like that's a good place for you to, is there a division that you're kind of eyeballing that you feel like you'll fit into once you have these 5 races in?
I mean, absolutely. I think this is a great finish for me. I mean, I'm pretty much brand new to iRacing. I've only had it for maybe like a month and a half now. So, I mean, just performing, being able to perform close to, my peak, and I was able to run some really fast laps in practice, and I was able to keep the pace up. And yeah, I mean, I'm eyeballing silver. I hope I can really compete there. And yeah, I mean, I think it was great today.
Well, so it would have been a 4th place in silver, so nothing too shabby out here tonight. Have you had some laps here at Sebring? I know you said you're kind of new to iRacing, but have you had any laps in any other games or simulators or anything like that for Sebring to get you an eyeball on this track early?
No, not really. I've really just been practicing all this week since the last core race. I've just been running laps and laps and laps and battling with my teammates at UNOH, Brady and Jack and Alan. It's been great. They've been great help throughout the entire process. So shout out to them for sure.
Well, it certainly paid off for you tonight, top of the rookie class and 10th place overall. So congrats on the finish. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Thank you guys for putting on these races all the time and the great commentary. I love going back and watching these and listening to everything. So shout out to you guys, and shout out to everybody at UNOH Motorsports. You guys have absolutely taken me under your wing, and it's been a great time. You guys have taught me a lot. So thanks to you guys too.
Absolutely, buddy. Well, congrats again on the success, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Absolutely.
That is your rookie division winner here tonight, the 024 of Ellie Brandel, top of the bronze division, and I'm sure he knew it the whole time. I mean, it was just a guarantee. The 172 of CJ Conklin. CJ, are you still kind of scratching your head, wondering how the heck he got up here? Maybe still looking for his mic. CJ, do we have a copy?
Oh yeah, here we go.
There we go.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I guess it's not surprising. You probably weren't even expecting to be in the booth here tonight with the win in the bronze division. But I mean, fuel. You need fuel to get to the end.
Oh my goodness!
And it's you got to feel for him. But in the same case, I'm sure you're not too displeased with getting a win here.
No, that was scary, that last lap. I was going pretty slow. You probably watched a bunch of cars just fuel saving at the end. But yeah, I had a lot of practice today. It was I was hitting 205s, didn't know what was going on. Did some telemetry with my teammate. We had a little session this morning. He showed me where I could pick up some time, knocked 2 seconds off, and the pace was there. So I was pretty happy with it.
Yeah, it was a little bit bigger field here in the bronze division tonight, and it looked like Tim Thompson was going to walk away with it, but obviously fuel ended up running out on him. But I mean, I did notice that. I was looking at the kind of the clock ticking down, and when you guys were, well, when the top guys were crossing the line, it was kind of right on that edge of that extra lap, and I'm guessing that was the case out here, that you guys went one extra lap than you expected.
Yeah, I did a little pit maneuver, not pit maneuver, but I went in a little early trying to gain some time. I needed new tires. The Mustang does not like worn out tires, got a little slippery. So I came in 2 laps early thinking I had an extra 4 minutes of fuel, but it was kind of scary that last minute.
Well, it worked out here. You grab another win here in the bronze division, and 16th place overall was not exactly bad. I mean, top half of the field here tonight. So, congrats on the success. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
My teammate Michael working with me today, and my wife, of course.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats on the win here tonight in the bronze. We'll see you next week.
All right, thank you.
That is your bronze division winner here tonight. Kind of got gifted to him here, but either way, you take it when you can take it. The 172 of CJ Conklin, winner in the silver division, made the final pit stop pay off, and finally, Justin, you still had some issues here tonight, but it didn't affect your final standings here, and you finally get up here in the top step of the silver. It's got to feel like just a long time coming, whether it's here in the Core GT series, whether it's in UCRL. You needed a damn break.
For sure. I mean, honestly, I wasn't anticipating like being where I was, and then once I kind of saw the just guys kind of falling by the wayside, I'm like going, hey, wait, what? I'm where? So I was pretty. I mean, I just this track. I mean, so many laps here. Just the muscle memory came back, and it's actually my first race here with a direct drive wheel, and holy cow, what a difference! I mean. I'm gonna get not a sponsor plug in right away, but just the Moza that I got is like just freaking phenomenal, and that was probably worth about a second just by itself for me tonight. Just so much fun.
I mean, not only was it top of the silver division here, but 6th place overall. I mean, this is a pretty stacked field here, like I just mentioned to CJ. In the Core GT series, and come away with 6th place overall. I mean, we know you got some speed, and it just seems like, again, you needed that break, and you needed to finally have everybody else just avoid you and avoid taking you out for once, and it worked out here nicely tonight.
Yeah, the fact I wasn't the first wreck of the race was already chef's kiss. Yeah. So, but then I had to do something on my own because I was behind a pretty big pack, and I was just gonna sit and ride for a bit and try because I had a pretty nice little gap behind me and I kind of jabbed the brake just in the wrong spot going over one of the bumps at Sunset that just upset the car and I couldn't catch it. So it's like, all right, settle in, find a spot, let's go.
Well, that's kind of a good point to bring up there. Sunset with a direct drive. I mean, how rough is it? That corner is a beast to begin with, but the bumps through Sunset are rough. I can't imagine it was any better in the direct drive.
believe it or not, it was like butter, man, because it's like all the bumps are still there, but it's not like kind of like the sharp hits that you have like on the Logitechs. It's just you're able to feel it, kind of manipulate the wheel to kind of go along with it. And it was like that was my best corner on the track. I was like, I think everybody I was around, I was like, I had 2-3 tenths in the bag on them around sunset. So I was like, cool, I like it.
Well, I'm thinking that maybe this is kind of what we need to do. We just need to turn the lights out so they can't find you on the track and take you out. Maybe that's what the that's what the secret formula is. If they can't find you, they can't hit you.
Be very, very quiet. I'm hunting rabbits.
Well, either way, buddy, it worked out. Congrats on the win here tonight. You had to pick up a little slack, with your teammate not being here and working on the Halloween night here tonight. So.
Something about kids and throwing candy at them. So I don't know. I don't know.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, it's fine. It's fine. You just you picked up all the weight here and took the win in the silver division. So congrats. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Jimmy, you're watching. Get your ass back in the car next week. Anyway, just got the guys with Black Magic, Brent, Trevor, to all the usual suspects that you've seen over on the oval side with us. And again, Mo's a wheel. Can't recommend them enough for budget side of things. Like, I mean, they're the way they're priced and the build quality does not match up. It's something this good should be that inexpensive in comparison to what's on the market. So Moza, thank you, freaking fantastic. Carl, thanks for having the league set up with Core, running the GT3 stuff and putting on the show that you do with here with UCRL with the Xfinity cars. I mean, it's always a good time. So thank you, and just happy to be here.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate it, buddy. And once again, congrats on the win here tonight. We'll see if you can go back to back at Interlagos next week.
The Magic 8 Ball says not likely, but we'll give it a shot anyway.
Well, maybe you'll finally have your teammate back there and he can help you out and pull a little bit of his weight too.
As long as he's not seeing the chicas over at Carnival, we'll be fine.
Well, can't blame him for that either. That's some nice eye candy.
Yeah, true. Very true.
All right, buddy. You have a good night.
Yeah, you too, Carl. Thanks.
That's your winner here in the silver division, the 51 of Justin Kirby. Now we'll get to our top 3 overall, and in the gold division, all of them starting off with third place here tonight, the 12 of David Topher. David, you had some speed here tonight for sure. You were up there on the front row, and I believe it might have been the first time all season we had you on the front row, if I'm not mistaken. But either way, you had more pace in qualifying than Dominique Ford. I mean, did that give you a little feather in the cap, a little hope that maybe you can be the first one to take down that 91 this season?
I mean, it was P2 last week on the front row as well, but I don't know that I have any expectation of being able to catch Dom. I mean, he was playing games a little bit. I mean, he's gonna play cat and mouse at the end because he's got Mason there to make sure that they're 1-2. So all kudos to him. If I would have been challenging Mason, he would have made it interesting. But no, I mean, I don't think I can catch him right now.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out here in the booth what exactly was going on, if he had to save a little bit of fuel or if he was playing the other team game and trying to help Mason just get a little bit of draft from him to keep ahead of you. And then for a little bit, it seemed like he was just a little bit too slow and almost backing him up into you.
Yeah, I think a little from column A, a little from column B. Well, I mean, it's hard to say he helped himself saving fuel because I think he gave us an extra lap by slowing down. So didn't really help there. But either way, I don't think I was going to get past Mason. Kirby was in front of me there for a few laps at just the wrong time, unfortunately. But he was running a good race. So, I wasn't going to dive bomb on him. But I was just hoping he would pit a little bit earlier. But it's all good.
Yeah,
I'll take third.
It looked like that extra lap was certainly something that some of these drivers weren't expecting, and we even had the bronze division leader Tim Thompson with a massive lead, ended up running out on the run down to the sunset and couldn't finish the race and actually lost the win because of it. I mean, was that ever an issue for you guys up front with the potential of running out of fuel because of that extra lap?
I guess my pit crew calculated that because I was on the edge of that the whole time, and I never got kind of notification that I was going to be underfueled. So I think I was okay. Just maybe bad luck for those where their pit crew thought it was going to be one less.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where it's nice to have the shorter pit stop and get out there and maybe jump one of the competitors on the track, but it's also good to just on that last pit stop have that one extra lap of fuel just in case. And it worked out nicely here for you tonight. A good third place finish, a good showing. Yeah, you may not have had the speed to get that 91 there, but you were hanging with Mason Smith pretty much the entire race and really had a chance at that second place here tonight. So congrats on the run here. What do you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, just thanks to my family for not minding too much that I was hanging out at home and racing on Halloween night, and shout out to Jimmy for doing his family thing, and the big night of the year for his family, and hope to see him back next week, of course, and to all the CRN watchers out there, and to you in the booth.
All right, thanks, buddy, and once again, congrats on the podium here tonight. We'll see you next week at Interlagos.
Yeah, we'll see you.
That's your third place finisher overall, and in the gold division, the 12 of Dave Tilford. Second place is going to be the 6 of Mason Smith. Mason, he grabbed the pole here tonight, and it looked like maybe you could take down the giant here, your teammate down forward, but you held him off for quite some time. He even had a little bit of a spurt at the beginning where it looked like you were going to get away from him for a bit, but man, it's going to be tough beating him this year.
Absolutely nail on the head there. I know he's my teammate and we do a lot of team order things, whatever. But we just it's hard. It's just tough, and I'd say that was my best race so far this season. Just grabbing the pole alone was just a very good accomplishment to do. So. Yeah, just running second and had like a little mistake coming out of that Le Mans corner. That's what made him got the run and got the lead away.
Yeah, now it was going to be my next question is how does it feel to finally kind of have the speed back? It seemed like you were in a bit of a lull for a while, and maybe like battling for the top 5 overall, and even in the beginning of this season, it kind of seemed like you were on that same form. But it showed kind of glimpses last week, and now certainly this week that maybe you're finally turning that corner and getting that speed back.
Well, it's Sebring. Favorite track, so it was definitely a refresher from like the fair tracks like Silverstone. So yeah, with Interlagos coming up, I think hopefully I can keep up my pace there. So yeah, Silverstone not it, but hoping Interlagos I'll keep that pace.
Well, either way, it was a good run here tonight, and maybe a little help from your teammate there at the end to help drag you away from Tilford to get you that second place. But either way, you came home second here tonight. So congrats on the finish. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
To the family that always watches, and shout out to teammate Dom and 212. And that's all. See you in the broadcast as well.
All right, buddy. Well, congrats on the second place here tonight. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Second place finish here tonight, the 6 of Mason Smith. Last but not least is your winner here tonight, the 91 of Dom Ford. Dom 4 for 4 now to start the season, but man, a horrible qualifying effort way down there in third place. I mean, what was going on? Were you sleeping during qualifying? I mean, were you just trying to give everybody else, just a sniff of a possibility?
Well, I tried something new here tonight. I went with the Mercedes, which was a decent pick. I've driven the Mercedes here before, and I felt pretty comfortable. But I don't know what they did, man. iRacing they updated it, and it's not that quick anymore, I feel like. So I just couldn't get a good lap down. I kept pitting to, get more fuel and get more tires, but it just wasn't enough. I had the 59 on the table though, and every time I get close, I'd mess it up in some section of the track. But it actually benefited me starting P3 because I was starting behind my teammate, and we actually got a good jump and were able to get P2. So we had a pretty good start to the race.
Yeah, he kind of brought up a couple points. One of them that I mentioned during the race that I was surprised nobody was cracked into the 59s yet. I know the top three, you guys. Actually, I think the top four, including Nick Terrell, had all laps in the 2-minute flats, but nobody was able to crack the 159s. But the other thing you brought up is that Mercedes, yeah, and I talked about it last night in the CSRL broadcast that it seems like it was a really good go-to car for quite some time and kind of a good neutral car to put on any track, but it seems to have been just, kind of left in the closet for a while, and the dust is starting to grow on that car, and it's really not that popular at all anymore.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think that is the case. This recent bump has really shifted things around with the addition of the McLaren. They increased the downforce on it, which helped in some cases, but I feel like it hindered it in others. It's still pretty quick in a straight line. Like, I didn't feel like Mason was catching me on the straights or anything like that. I felt like I was pretty confident on the straights, but just something about it in the corners. It could just be this track, maybe, or maybe my driving style just doesn't really suit the Mercedes anymore. But I was still able to hold on to it pretty decently. I couldn't crack the 59s. I was trying to save some fuel to see if I could squeeze out an extra lap, but wasn't able to. Nick actually was able to get the better fuel strategy down in the McLaren, so good for him. But it was still all right driving the Mercedes, so it wasn't too bad.
We mentioned, the kind of shift with the BOP with these cars lately, and seen something last night in CSRL that I don't think I've ever seen before, where the top 7, or I think it was actually out of the top 8, there were 7 different manufacturers represented in the top 8 for qualifying. And you guys almost kind of had the same thing here tonight. There was a lot of different manufacturers out there in the top 10 spots here, and every manufacturer, I think it was represented here tonight. So, I mean, is that kind of a change overall in the GT3 scene that, any car is doable at this point?
Yeah, I think that's kind of what it always is a little bit after they add a new GT3. That new GT3 they add is really fast, and that's like the new meta car until they bop the entire field or something like that. And I think that's what happened this season. They added the McLaren. It was the fastest thing for a few weeks, and now that they've bopped it again, things have evened out, and now it's kind of like a limbo on the side, to decide what car is really the fastest. But like you said, it is really nice to see, different manufacturers that, are in the runnings there. I mean, we had top 3 finishes here, all 3 different cars, so that's really nice to see.
Yeah, and even 4th place, Nick Terrell in the McLaren. So top 4 different ones, and it's good because each one of these GT3s gives you something different. Some give you better traction through the high speed corners, some give you better traction through the low speed, some have the high end in speed, and some have the drive off the corners. So you can really just kind of pick the one that fits you and suits you, and not feel like you're just going to give up a ton of pace. So it's nice to see all these cars kind of group back together. You've had your fun now in the dry races for these first 4, but rain is on the way. It may not necessarily hit at Interlagos, just a little bit of a chance. I think about a 5% chance of rain next week, but it's on the horizon. How do you feel about the second half of the season?
Oh, I'll be honest. My brain is in shambles on how many wet races we have, but we got to do something. We got to do something to mix it up for you here. I mean, God forbid you qualify 4th. That's why I had to win all these races in the beginning, so I can get a good lead.
Absolutely.
Go through these next few races, I'm gonna be struggling. But we'll see. Monza in the wet, I've driven. It's not too bad. Suzuka in the wet is going to be horrendous. So,
yes. The track is tough in the dry. So yeah.
Yeah, true. And then, not to mention Spa. I mean, we didn't even need to talk about that one. we didn't even need to mention that one. But that's going to be deadly too.
Yeah.
Anybody that's done the Spa 24 hours will
Yes.
know that wet Spa is it's not a good thing, but we'll see how it goes.
I'd like to say fun,
I'm gonna
but
try and stick.
I was gonna say I'd like to say it was fun, but I think it's another word that starts with F that probably fits better.
Yeah, true, very true. I'm gonna try and stick with the 3 different manufacturers. I mean, this one, the mark is gonna be questionable. I might not touch this one for a minute to see what happens, but the McLaren and the Porsche, I think, will be the 2 main cars I run this season. I like those 2 a lot. They seem to be pretty competitive, and I can't get rid of the McLaren. I mean, it's the McLaren. But I'm excited for next week. We've got Interlagos, and then Road America. It's another great track. So
yeah. So
see how she
Interlagos
does.
next week. I mean, what are the thoughts on 5 for 5 and completing the sweep of the first half of the season?
Maybe I'm not very good at Interlagos. We've driven there in past seasons. And I won't say I'm not much of a fan, but it just doesn't click with me as other tracks do with the GT3 cars. Now, I will be driving Interlagos in the Endurance Championship this season, or this weekend, I should say, in the GTP. And I think that track flows great with downforce. But I don't think it's really, like, the GT3s just aren't fast enough for there. But we'll see how it goes. I think it'll probably be something like this week where I won't be on the qualifying times, which is cool. I mean, it's nice to see other guys get up on the pole. I mean, congrats to my teammate for getting up there on the pole. That's nice. But I think it'll be something like this week. I'm not going to be as quick. Might be a strategy race.
Well, either way, I'm sure he'll be up there in the running to go 5 for 5 to start this season. So congrats on getting the 4th win, 4 out of 4 to start this season, and certainly well on your way to running down another championship here this season. So congrats. Who do you want to give a shout out to or thanks to?
Like I said, big shout out to my teammate for securing the P2. Great for the team championship and for his championship. And getting the pole, that was really big as well. I just couldn't run him down. So, congrats to him. Congrats to the whole field. Congrats to David for getting the P3. I slowed down a little bit there at the end of the race to try and give Mason the draft so he could secure the P1 and P2.
Did see that.
So that was good. And unfortunately, what happened to James, but big up for him showing up today. I know he just had a big week last week with his aviation stuff. So congrats to him and congrats to Nick for getting the P4. And congrats to you in the broadcast. I know I still see you in here by yourself. Hopefully I'm going to join you next season, though. We can have some good chats up here. But, excited to go back and watch your broadcast. You always do a great job. With a person or without another co-host, you still do a great job. So big up to you. And again, shout out to the whole field. And it was a good race tonight.
I appreciate that, buddy, and certainly you guys put on a good show, even if it was just you playing some games there and helping your teammate there at the end. I appreciated it being close between the top 3 there. All right, well, we'll let you get out of here and celebrate the win here tonight and get yourself prepared for Interlagos and see if you can sweep that first half of the season.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Winner here tonight, the 91 of Dominique Ford again. 4 for 4. You can't say enough about the dominance that the 91 has been showing this season. You've seen quite a few glimpses of it last season as he went on to the championship, but really just on a different level this season. And it's tough. It's tough to compete with him right now, and it's tough to get around him. So we'll see if anybody has anything for him at Interlagos before we start getting a little bit wet here for the second half of the season. I'm certainly looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the broadcast here tonight. If you haven't done so yet, hit that like and subscribe, get you in touch with everything that CRN has to offer. But that is going to do it for the Core GT. Happy Halloween to everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed the treat here tonight. But for now, we'll see you at the track.